Hello, I'm Rick Boddy. I'm the Group Director of Research and Innovation, and it's around about a year since I came into post. I'm currently exploring how we might improve the way that I communicate with people across the organisation. So this is the first video update, and I want to update you about the progress that we've been making over this last year. And what a year it's been. So for the first part of the year, we were of course focused on our pandemic response and delivering to COVID research. And you know what, we did a really good job across MFT. The recovery trial was a real highlight. You'll know about the recovery trial. It led to great advances in treatment for COVID-19, and the trust did extremely well in recruiting to that. Almost 15% of patients presenting with COVID-19 admitted to our hospital were recruited to the recovery trial since January. That's a real achievement, and it was no mean feat across our hospitals to achieve that. Some fantastic work. We set up a junior medical rota at Manchester Royal Infirmary, and that was a real highlight for me. We had an associate principal investigator in Thomas Shanahan, and the junior doctors on that rota really did a stellar job of ensuring that our patients had an opportunity to participate in that very important research. We also ran some very important vaccine trials, and it's been a huge effort to recruit to the vaccine trials. We had the world's first participants in the Janssen vaccine trial, and it was our very own head of research delivery, Claire Cole, which is showing some commitment to the cause there. But the team has done superbly, largely a redeployed team, to pivot and successfully deliver to those large vaccine trials. We've had great involvement in the FOSS-COVID trial. Alex Horsley and Neil Hanley were very heavily involved in the design and delivery of FOSS-COVID, and the team ensured that we were the second top recruiters in the country to the FOSS-COVID trial, looking at the longer term effects of COVID. I had the privilege of leading the Condor programme and the Falcon study, which looked at COVID diagnostics, and MFT are the top recruiters to that study, with over 880 participants recruited at MFT. And overall, we've recruited over 10,000 patients to COVID-19 research studies, which is quite an achievement. And in fact, MFT investigators have led around about 10% of all of the NIHR urgent public health studies looking at COVID-19. Quite an accolade. We should be really proud of that. And now, of course, in the second part of the year, we're focusing on recovery, not the recovery trial, recovering from the pandemic. And it's really challenging. So that's our area of focus, and I hope that you'll bear with us through some of the challenges. So I'll talk you through some of them. We're doing really well in our recovery. It's really important to emphasize that. There are currently more studies open at MFT than there were in 2019 prior to the pandemic. In fact, there are 264 studies open according to ODP that are on the NIHR portfolio. That's more than twice as many as our nearest partners across Greater Manchester. We're second overall for recruitment in Greater Manchester. Only the Mental Health Trust is beating us on recruitment, and that's because they have one extraordinarily large study. We're top for recruitment to commercial studies. We are 10th nationally for recruitment to NIHR portfolio studies. And according to PID report data, we're not doing badly for setup times either. From the date that we're selected as a site to the first patient recruitment, in our league, in the PID report, only St George's was beating us for setup times, which is pretty good. There are some challenges though. We won't pretend that everything's rosy, because of course there are some very, very challenging times ahead, and we've got some challenges facing us immediately right now as well. There are over 400 studies waiting to get through the setup process at MFT. That's of course, no twice as many as you've got to open on the NIHR portfolio at the moment. Those are huge numbers, and we've got to set those up amid all of the staff redeployments, long-term staff sickness, staff retention issues. And of course, we had to reorganize the entire non-clinical research delivery team in the middle of a pandemic, because we of course expanded the trust to take on North Manchester General, and our structure had to change to represent that. So they're very, very challenging to achieve all of this. A huge number of studies waiting for setup, a lot of them very complex, and we're doing that in those very, very challenging times with staffing shortages, sickness, etc. We're doing an awful lot of work to try and address those challenges. So we're expanding our capacity. We knew that it was time for teams to get back to their own work, their non-COVID research. So the redeployed staff needed to get back to their teams. And to facilitate that, we set up the acute care research delivery team, investing in additional research nurses and practitioners to help absorb the workload of delivering on acute care research studies for COVID-19. So our acute care teams will deliver on those and their non-COVID portfolios with an expanded team, and that allows the redeployed nurses to get back to their own teams and restart on their portfolios. So that, I think, was a really important development. We're expanding our sponsorship team. And importantly, we want to expand into new other areas. So looking at sponsorship of medical device trials, early phase, phase 1, CTIMPs, and even advanced medical therapies, ATIMPs, looking at sponsorship of early phase advanced therapy trials, which are really important developments. So we're in a process of expanding the team to do that. Pharmacy has had some real staffing issues. There's a huge number of studies that require their attention, and we're investing in expanding that team as well. We're looking at eye imaging and ways that we can secure access to eye imaging for our patients in research studies. And there may be other high priority studies that we need to expedite through the setup process. So we're doing all of that. And then I also just want to say a few words on supporting time for research. So it's really important that our research active staff are supported to have the time to undertake research. And I want to say a few words, particularly about the medical staff today. Of course, there are many other important issues, but just to say a few words on developments for the medical workforce. We are having a look at the process for awarding research PAs and for allocating SPA time to research. There is existing job planning guidance on all of that. We're reviewing it at the moment and revising it, making sure that we are as supportive as we can be within the constraints that we've got to protect research time for our consultant workforce. We've awarded 3 Peterman Fellowships thanks to MFT charity funding. Those are really important awards that help to develop the careers of our most promising clinical academics, helping them to develop competitive applications for research fellowships. And they've been very successful in the past. For the first time, we've also awarded 2 research delivery fellowships in general surgery and respiratory medicine. So that's hoping to emulate the success of the junior medical rota for recruitment to the recovery trial. We wanted to allow individuals to have time, junior medical doctors, to have time in their job plan to deliver research. So we'll see how those go. I'm really excited by that development, and we're very interested in exploring similar models across the trust. Looking forward, well, the priorities are to get ourselves back to normal, and it's going to take time. So I hope you'll bear with us. There will inevitably be some delays to set up and delivery of research with that incredibly large pipeline of research that we've got to process and get through, and all of the challenges that we've got on top of that. I've outlined them all. So I hope you'll understand it will take us time to get there, but we're making really good progress, and we will get back to normal. The key is to get back to normal at the earliest possible opportunity. And with these things that we're doing, I think we'll get there, but you've got to bear with us because it's going to take us a little bit of time. We'll always need to put ethics and our values at the forefront of what we do, and make sure that we have equality, diversity and inclusion at the heart of our approach in research and innovation, making sure that our workforce is appropriately diverse and representative, and also that our research participants similarly are diverse, and that our underserved and under-researched populations have adequate opportunities to take part in our research. And we need to build our capacity, invest in our staff, attract the world-leading clinical academics that a trust of our size and reputation ought to have, and also invest in nurturing the young staff coming through to build and flourish in their success in their academic careers. So those are some of the priorities and some of the challenges. I hope to update you again, as I've obviously plenty more going on across research and innovation. I'll tell you more about those another time, but I hope that's been a helpful update for the first one of my video updates. All the best.